The heart is a vital organ in the human body. It literally works alongside us without stopping for 1 second. It performs the most critical function of pumping blood to different body parts. Unfortunately, approximately tens of millions of people are diagnosed with heart disease. It is a hazardous condition, and it's crucial to take care of your heart health. With the number of people suffering from heart-related issues, the common thought is that the only solution to heart issues is through medical intervention. However, on the brighter side, you can improve your heart health with a proper diet and a correct lifestyle. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel. It really helps me make more videos just like this. If you do not consume a healthy diet, it can lead to heart disease. It happens because of plaque formation in the lining of arteries. The condition is called atherosclerosis, and it leads to blockage of blood flow in and out of the blood vessels. And if this happens, adequate blood does not reach all body parts, and as a result, the oxygen supply gets disturbed, and breathing may become difficult. It can lead to severe health issues and even death. This is why proper dietary care for your heart health is necessary. One of the most harmful fats to your heart health is trans fat. Trans fat is considered the worst type of fat to eat. Unlike other dietary fats, trans fats raise bad cholesterol and also lowers good cholesterol. A diet laden with trans fats increases the risk of heart disease, which is the leading cause of death in adults. The more trans fat consumed, the greater the risk of heart disease and blood vessel disease. Trans fats are so unhealthy that the United States Food and Drug Administration has prohibited food manufacturers from adding the major source of artificial trans fats to foods and beverages. Several countries and several cities in the United States have limited or banned the use of trans fats. The FDA expects that this move will prevent thousands of heart attacks and deaths every year. But as a regulation takes effect, some products with added trans fat might still be available. So here is some important information about trans fats and how to avoid it. So most trans fats are formed through an industrial process that adds hydrogen to vegetable oil, which causes the oil to become solid at room temperature. This partially hydrogenated oil is inexpensive and less likely to spoil, so foods made with it have a longer shelf life. Some restaurants use partially hydrogenated vegetable oil in their deep fryers because it doesn't have to be changed as often as other oils do. The easiest way to avoid trans fat is by skipping foods that contain hydrogenated oil or partially hydrogenated oil in their ingredient list. Big culprits include packaged snacks, crackers, bakery goods, and some margarines. That is why it is important to read labels carefully. If a package claims 0 trans fat, the amount of serving may be less than 0.5 grams and could have been rounded down to 0. So the only way to be sure you're getting a product without trans fat is to read their ingredient list. The American Heart Association recommends limiting the amount of trans fat that you consume daily to less than 1% of your total calories. If you eat 2,000 calories a day, that translates to about 2 or fewer grams of trans fat. Trans fats are also found naturally in animal products, such as beef, pork, lamb, and the butterfat in butter and milk. Limiting how much beef, pork, lamb, and butter you eat, and swapping full-fat dairy products like milk and cheese for low or non-fat versions will also help. Many restaurants use partially hydrogenated vegetable oil, which includes trans fat to make foods last longer. This includes French fries, fried chicken, potato wedges, fried fish, and many other fried snacks. Not frying food in partially hydrogenated oils can significantly reduce the amount of trans fat in on-the-go foods. But still, some restaurants have products that have trans fat listed on their nutrition labels. For example, in 2022, a serving of large Cajun fries from Popeyes contained 2 grams of trans fat. Nutritional information might be challenging to find for small and local restaurants, but one way to locate any trans fat content is to look at an establishment's website to see what oil they use. Or you can ask when you get to the restaurant if that content is not listed. Whether the restaurant uses partially hydrogenated oil, it is generally better for your heart to stay clear of fried foods. Margarine was also previously marketed as a healthier alternative to butter because it's made from vegetable oil instead of dairy or animal products. But for the margarine to maintain its solid form, many types, mainly stick varieties, depend on partially hydrogenated oils high in trans or saturated fat. So make sure to steer clear of regular sticks and opt for whipped, reduced fat, or fat-free soft spreads. Specific ice cream flavors can also contain up to half of 1 gram of trans fat per serving. But if you read the ingredients list, the telltale listing of partially hydrogenated oils will be missing. This is because there are naturally occurring trans fat in fat-containing dairy products. Even though they occur naturally, those trans fats affect your body similar to manufactured kinds. So it may be a good idea to avoid ice cream if you would like to improve your heart health. Popcorn is another healthy snack that provides a serving of whole grains. But when you pour on the gooey toppings, there's no telling what you're adding. Many microwave popcorns may contain some amounts of trans fat. Instead, opt for organic brands of popcorn. Before 1990, very little was known about how trans fat can harm your heart. In the 1990s, research began identifying the adverse health effects of trans fats. Based on these findings, the FDA instituted labeling regulations for trans fat, and consumption has decreased in the United States in recent decades. According to the American Heart Association, here are some more ways you can achieve a healthier heart. Try to eat a dietary pattern that emphasizes fruits, vegetables, whole grains, low-fat dairy products, poultry, fish, and nuts. Also, limit red meat and sugary foods and beverages. You should use naturally occurring, non-hydrogenated vegetable oils such as canola, safflower, or olive oil most often. Also, opt for soft margarine as a substitute for butter, and choose soft margarines over harder stick forms. Make sure to look for 0 grams trans fat and the nutrition facts label and no hydrogenated oils in the ingredient list. Lastly, limit commercially fried foods and baked goods made with shortening or partially hydrogenated vegetable oils